I don't know, man.
believe in it.
Oh God,
Yeah.
dude, the worst job wise, just work the actual work. So not the circumstance that I was in or the people, the people. The worst job I've ever had was the concrete job that you know of.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh my
yeah, yeah.
God,
I know
dude.
about that.
So so for people listening, when I graduated high school, for 2 summers, or I should say 1.5 summers, because this didn't end well. I worked for an old church friend who had a concrete company, and at the time, he paid me $10 an hour to stand to work in the 99-degree humidity, sweltering heat, pouring fucking concrete, stamping concrete, painting curb, just sweating my ass off, man. And at the time, I was like, oh my God, I was like, $10 an hour. That's great. When you're like 18, 19, you're like, that's awesome. Especially because in high school, I'm making like $8 an hour at a grocery store. Oh my God, dude, it was so bad. It was horrible. Like I'll never forget, dude. Just and at that age too, I just didn't care about my sleep or anything. So it was like I'd be out till midnight, 1 a.m. with friends, freaking, just acting like lunatics, and then 7 in the morning, get up, go meet this lunatic, Edward, at his mini storage.
Yeah.
Get in his truck. And dude, his voice, it was like, I've done the impression for you before, but picture, it was like Ray Romano mixed with, it was like Ray Romano mixed with Don Fry. That's probably a good way to put it. It's like I was gonna oh, it was horrible. It was like us. It was like me, the boss, and 2 other people. One of whom was his son, and the other guy was like like this immigrant guy. Great dude, hard worker. Had been working with him for a long time, but oh my God, man, he would just berate me and his son just all day. Like, dude, looking back on it, but when you're when you're a teenager, you just take it, you just take it, but he would just berate us all day. Oh my God. I'll never forget. Like, it would just be like, oh, what do you, I remember like we would have a bag. There was like, we would have like these bags of concrete. I remember. And like, oh, this is going to hurt my throat so bad doing this voice, but like we had these bags of concrete. And I remember there was one where I was like trying to get a grip on it. I couldn't really get a good grip on it. And I'm like hugging it, and I'm like trying to lift it up, and it's like falling out of my arms. And he goes, Jake, you're fucking wrestling a bag of cement. Oh my God. I'll never forget. Oh man. I'll just never.
Sense of humor.
Oh my God. He was such an asshole though. Like I remember there was this one job where, dude, it was this house with this long downhill driveway, and then in the backyard is where we're laying a whole patio that goes the length of the house. So we got our work cut out for us. Cement truck is supposed to be there at 9 a.m. Gets there at 11:30. Dude, boss is livid at this point. Cement guy gets there. Dude, cement truck gets there. He's boiling at this point. He's got this, his son is on like this buggy, this like riding thing with a big bucket on the front of it to carry a bunch of wet concrete. I have the wheelbarrow. So I'm just wheeling wheelbarrows full of cement down this giant driveway. He's like, all right, guys, we've already lost 2 hours. Get your fucking asses in gear. We need to haul fucking ass. And I'm like, oh God, dude. And I remember just wheeling these wheelbarrows of cement of wet concrete down the driveway. And every time, dude, these were so heavy. They were so heavy. And dude, every time I made it down that driveway without spilling the concrete everywhere.
Yeah.
Because, wheelbarrows they're so stupid. There's like one wheel on the end of it. So you have to like balance it.
Yeah.
And it's filled with like 50, 80, 100 pounds of concrete. So
Yeah.
I'm just wheeling this thing down this steep downhill driveway. And every time, it just felt like I had a new lease on life that I didn't spill a giant mountain of concrete all over this person's driveway. Like, dude, I was praying to God at that time. I was like, please, this guy is going to kill me. He's going to fire me and rehire me and fire me again in the span of 3 seconds. And I remember, dude, every time I would get to the patio where we were laying, or the area where we were laying down the patio, I would dump it out, and it would always tip midair, so like it would spill like in the wrong spot. And I remember like the third time I did it, I was like, I'm sorry, and he goes, don't be sorry, just quit doing it. I was like, oh, fuck you, man. It was so bad, man. Oh God, it hits like 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. rather. You're drenched in sweat. You're trying to reapply sunblock, and it's just mixing. It's just mixing with the sweat, so you can't even reapply. Yeah. Oh my God, you're just burning up. Oh, and I remember we get done, and I'm like, I have like a half a wheelbarrow of cement left, of concrete. I keep calling it cement, but it's not. You're supposed to call it concrete. Cement's like an agent in the concrete. But so I'm like, I have like half a wheelbarrow of cement of cement left, and he's like, and I'm like, Mr. Boss, what should I do with this remaining cement? And he goes, the what? And I'm like, the remaining cement. What do I do with it? He goes, dump it out in the fucking woods. Dude, he was such an asshole. To this day, I hate this guy. I get so angry when I think about him. Oh my God, I want to punch his stupid face so bad. Additionally, I'll never forget the time we're out there 8 o'clock till noon laying down concrete for this other customer. We finish at like noon, right? 12:30 maybe. We pack everything up, and we're about to leave. We're home free. And then all of a sudden, boss comes out of the backyard walking toward the truck. I'm like, we're about to go, right? He goes, guys, we're not finished. Dude, there was apparently a whole other patio that we had to do. We had to unpack everything out of the trailer and go do a whole other patio. And while we're laying down this patio, there's like the homeowner and his friend, I shit you not, dude, they're sitting on their back porch drinking lemonade in the shade watching us. And the whole time they're just like, oh, hot enough for you fellas? I'm like, oh my God. Like, dude, fuck you, man. It was. They
at least offer you guys some lemonade?
No. They did not, Edward. No lemonade was offered. Oh God, dude.
Had enough for you fellas? That's pretty funny.
Oh my God, man. Oh, I apologize to the listeners. I'm coming off of like, I got tested negative for strep, but it felt like strep, so I'm having some issues with my throat getting scratchy. It was horrific. But I remember that second summer, I quit halfway through. I was like, dude, he was even worse the second summer, just swearing up and down, just swearing every day. And it got to the point where I couldn't even do the job anymore because I was so afraid that he was just going to start yelling and swearing and I was so afraid that he was gonna start swearing or like getting angry that I would like, dude, you'd be like doing some work and he'd be like, get the hell out of my way, I'm coming through, get the fuck out of the way. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, it was like, dude, walking on eggshells, and it was so bad that I would start doing the dumbest shit. The dumbest shit, Edward. Like,
just out of like the sheer anxiety out of it.
Yeah. So, for example, I remember one time we finished up at this one job site, and I'm like, it becomes self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm like, okay, I don't want to make the boss mad. Like, I got to do everything right. So, like, I'm packing up the trailer. This is how anxious I was. It turned me into a fucking idiot. So, like, I'm packing up the trailer. There are buckets that are half full of water, and then there's like plastic wrap, kind of like in Dexter or something, that we would use to like lay down to like so concrete wouldn't get everywhere, so it would just spill out onto the plastic, right? And we'd reuse it. So I, in my infinite wisdom, instead of dumping the water out of the buckets, I took the folded up plastic and I put it in the water in the buckets, and then put the buckets still filled with water and plastic in the trailer. And so that's how anxious I was. I just like didn't want to do anything wrong. He mind fucked me to the point where I was like, he might need the water for something. Dude, sure enough, like 10 minutes later, he comes over and he's like sifted through the trailer, and then he like kind of looks down. And he's like, what the fuck? He like bends over. He like bends over. He's like, what the hell is this? Like bends down. And he like sees one bucket of water. He's like, what? Why the fuck would we? What? And then he gets to the second bucket and he sees that one's filled with water, and he goes, fucking really? He's like, Jake, why the fuck would we need all this fucking water? Why the fuck would we need the water in the fucking buckets? I was like, I don't know, man. I just want to go home. I just don't want to be yelled at. So, oh my God. And I'll never forget, dude, my last week there, just, I was like, okay, I have this week. And then the following week, my family and family friends of ours were going on a cruise. So I was like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish up this last week. I'm going to collect my $200 for the past few weeks, and I'm never talking to this guy again. So, dude, I'll never forget. He goes, like, the last day, he goes like, Jake, you want your check? And I'm like, yes, please, I would. Writes me that check. Thank you, sir. Left. Blocked his number, dude. Never, didn't even. Didn't even quit. Didn't quit. No text. No heads up. Just blocked his number. Never talked to him again. Because I'm like, dude, you've been swearing at me, yelling at me, being a douche. No. Done with you, man.
Man, so you didn't even quit.
No. I ghosted.